Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the basement. $250,000 Bitcoin. We're going to talk about why that can happen, why Robert Kiyosaki is predicting that, but more importantly, what does that mean for Unicorn Fart Desk? But first, I got to tell you something. Number one, what are you doing in my basement? Who let you down here? I'm sorry I was late. It's a big deal that you're here. It's a big deal when you join. We are a community. We are family. Thank you for being here. Please repost this. Go to YouTube. Subscribe to our Unicorn Fart Desk YouTube channel. But most importantly, horns up, dusters. Man, we got a lot of fun things to cover today. Let's dig in right now and get started. First, you are hardcore. Okay. It dawned on me last night. I'm looking over this Operation Beanbase thing. I'm looking at the post that you guys are putting out there. This is a very hardcore, and I mean that as a big compliment to us. We are a hardcore, very dedicated, very committed community, may I say? Herd? Huh? Horns up, dusters. Let's go take a look at what's going on with Operation Beanbase, because we got a lot to talk about this morning. This comes from Emma Bowl. She says, Operation Beanbase. Now, for those of you who don't know, that was a contest that we had where we are getting the attention of Coinbase. That's where we want to be listed next. So organically within the community, we had a big, massive contest going on, and everyone, you just blew it out of the water. That's what I mean. This was like hardcore participation on behalf of the UFD community. Emma says, and thank you to Emma, because she created this, she administered it, and she really deserves a lot of credit for all the hard work that she put into it. Emma Bull says, Operation Beanbase has been one of the best contests that I've run in terms of value to Unicorn Fart Desk. I think the contests for the Ledger competition were more important, but in terms of seeing the community have fun, this has been one of the best. Now let's go to this next post from Emma, where she kind of recaps over the last several months the number of beans that we've given out in contests. She said, with Operation Beanbase coming to a close, I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on the contests we've hosted. Okay. We had 5,000 beans. Remember the Ledger contest, round 1, 18,000 beans given away. Ledger, round 3, 100,000 beans for Beanie Buddies, 9,000 for Roaring Kitty, and 23,000 for Operation Beanbase. That's the total of 155,000 beans. More importantly, I want to point out all the great contests that we've had, and I know that Emma, Crypt Wizard, a number of other people have been let's just say very involved in creating these contests. Number one, but also administering them. It is a lot more work than you might imagine, guys. Anyway, at today's price, or at UFD's, previous all-time high, that's $65,500 worth of beans that have been given away. And at a $1 billion market cap, that would be $155,000 worth of UFD. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here, I'm not involved at all. I need to tell you guys something. I sometimes show some of these entries, but I need to make it very clear I am not involved at all in the judging. There's just certain ones that pop up that caught my eye. And this one from our friend Ivan, let's look at this entry because it is a real doozy. All right, and hold on here. Let's see if this works today. Ad.
Those wolves, oh cat meows, Pepe feet sound far comfort. I'll be rich, these will run. All my money's in mean coins. UFD, the people's coin. Convict to it, listed now. This is the coin that Gigi holds. The unicorn say, the unicorn say, rock pulls denied. The unicorn say, happy the community, happy we are a family, honesty and prosperity. The unicorn say, You're listed Coinbase.
I love it. Okay. Let me come back to you guys. Okay. Do you agree with me that we have a very hardcore community at Unicorn Fart Dust? So I ask you, this is a special message for our friend Brian Armstrong at Coinbase. Why don't you take a look at UFD? We know you've heard about us. Look at our honesty. Look at our integrity. Remember, we are good about good attracts. We're good about being good attracts good. We are good attracts good. We are good. We are transparent. We are, I didn't read this yesterday. I apologize, Dusters. Huh? Here, freeze your screen for a second. Don't forget, UFD represents and upholds the core values and principles that cryptocurrency was originally founded upon. Okay, Mr. Brian Armstrong, please go out and look at all these great Coinbase memes that this community made for you. Look at what we've done over the last 5 months within UFD and tell me, please, when you'd like to talk about listing UFD. Emma, thank you for everything you did. This is a hardcore community. This is real. This is happening. We aren't going anywhere. Okay. There's nobody else like us. So keep up the good work, guys. Let's talk about Robert. Let's talk about one more thing about you. Then we're going to talk about Robert Kiyosaki, what he's saying about the Bitcoin price and what that means for UFD. Here we are, champs only, right? They're always giving us a good shout out. Underdog meme coins. Do you think we're an underdog? We'll talk about that in 1 second. Might not be number one yet, but the culture is there. And who's at the top of the list? UFD and our friends at FWOG. Okay? I mean, come on, guys. We love you, champs only, and I agree with it. The culture is there. Everybody, the smartest guys in the room, the gurus, all the way down to us, right? And you're a guru. I'm a guru too. We know that the culture, right? The heart, the determination, right? The strength, the vitality, the depth of the community for any crypto is what determines its value. How do you think Bitcoin got where it was? Because it had a culture, right? They use that word cult. I don't like to call us a cult. You know that. We're a club. We're a community. We're an organization. We're a lot of things. If you want to call us a cult, C-O-L-T, I don't have a problem with that. And if you want to call us a cult, well, that's up to you. But nonetheless, that's what determines who's doing what we are doing. Who had a big meme coin contest? Who had a successful DJ show? Right? We need to get the word out about DJ Litimus on Friday nights. Okay. He's lighting it up, right? He never misses. DJ Litimus never misses. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Okay. That's what's number one. Everybody talks about it. That's why we're number one. Let's go. We talked about Bitcoin. Yes, I know we are baby Bitcoin. That's what I say. You don't have to agree with me, but I believe we are baby Bitcoin. I'm not saying we're the same as Bitcoin, but we're very similar in the number one category, which is culture, which is community. All right. Don't forget that, guys, as we strive hoof by hoof by hoof by hoof every single day. Right. I know it can get hard, right? It's hard. Life is not always easy. Life's not always fun and rainbows and lollipops and unicorns, but we show up every day, one hoof at a time, and continue to build. The thing to remember is that every single day that goes by, somebody out there is joining our community, and we may not even know about it. Not everybody's active on X. Somebody out there, and a lot of them are boomers, right? All these older people are all the young people. We love the young people, we love the middle-aged folks, and we love the boomers, but they're buying little by little by little. Okay, do you know what that means? Do you know what time it is? Is it time to shake some beans? What do you say? Put it in the comments. You want me to shake the beans? Because that's the catalyst. Yes, HTX, major Asian exchange, organically listed us, right? 5 days ago, 6 days ago, whatever. I can't tell how many months we've been around. I thought we'd been around for 6 months. We only been around for 5 months. 5 months and 2 days at this point. But nonetheless, each day, right, over 5 months, we're building. Diamond hooved dusters. Is it time to shake some beans? Let me see if you guys called out for the bean shake. And then we're going to talk about this. $250,000 Bitcoin. Oh, wait, wrong way. There you go. Day by day by day, we're adding more people. Period. Okay? Boop, 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 boop. Each one of those beans represents a diamond hoof duster. Are you in there? Because every day we're getting more and more and more. And you know the story, right? When we get up here, we have a bean shortage. Then we have a beanopoly. It's real. All joking aside, we can't make more beans. We can't make more beans. It's like when the stores ran out of toilet paper during the C-19 crisis. When there's a shortage of anything, the price goes up. Now, remember, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not giving financial advice. Always be responsible with your money. Don't take too much risk. Please, please. Okay. But I must disclose to you that I do own a big position in Unicorn Fart Dust meme coin beans. So my horn is aligned with your horn. And how did you get in my basement? How are you down here? Duster Club? How did you get here? You're late. You know you're welcome here. Okay, let's go check out what Robert Kiyosaki is saying about Bitcoin and what that means for UFD and why he's saying that and why we need to be very scared. We're going to get into some macroeconomic scary stuff going on, but it all ties back to UFD. And don't you worry, I'll zip it all up for you at the end. Let's go take a look here. Here's Robert Kiyosaki. Just yesterday says this question. Why will gold, silver, and Bitcoin continue to grow in value? I'm a gold and silver maxi as well as a UFD, a crypto lover. Okay. He says, answer. The Marxist central bank system is crashing. Many are going bankrupt. Keep hodling. He said, I am buying more Bitcoin. I predict Bitcoin climbs to $250,000 this year. He says, buy more, do not sell. Okay. So Robert Kiyosaki is telling us $250,000 Bitcoin. Robert Kiyosaki is also telling us gold and silver, right? Gold and silver, Bitcoin and crypto are essentially purchased by investors for the same reason, right? They're DeFi, decentralized finance. No central command can control the price of gold and silver. They can try to manipulate it, sure. And they can try to manipulate the price of Bitcoin. They can try to manipulate the price of UFD. It's the same thing. We are decentralized. We are baby Bitcoin. We are democratized. This is a fair and level playing field. That I hope I'm asking you a question. Does that get you excited about UFD, right? I can't control it. Nobody can control it. It's on the blockchain. It's democratized. But let's look at what he's saying is the banks, the central banks, the governments of the world are out of control financially. Let's look at a couple scary points that will drive this home. This next one, you may learn something from this. So pay attention to this. This is from Porter Stansbury from Stansbury Research. This has to do with the banks. Most people don't realize this is the case. I'll explain it to you here in just 1 second. He says Bank of America is sitting on, hold on, make sure we got the right tab up. Yes, we do. Is sitting on $700 billion in bonds. So Bank of America bought $700 billion in bonds, almost $1 trillion. That they bought at 1% yields. Remember 3, 4, 5 years ago when interest rates were super low? So they bought all these bonds. They're only making a 1% yield in 2020. Those bonds are down 40% in value, hiding a $100 billion loss. Okay. Meanwhile, the Treasury needs to refine. Okay, let's just focus on that right now. So the bank bought all these bonds back in 2020. Right now, they're sitting on a $100 billion loss because interest rates went up. Okay, when interest rates go up, the value of bonds go down. It's called the inverse relationship between interest rates and bond prices. And to think about it real simply, okay, there's a couple key things to remember here. Number one, Bank of America is hiding this, okay, and it's legal for them to do it. They don't have to mark the value of those bonds to the market price, right? They invested 700 billion. They're really only worth about 600 billion at this point, but they don't need to recognize it as that would be called mark to market. They don't have to do that because they can just say, well, we're going to hold these to maturity. We're just going to hold them all the way out, and then we'll get our full face value back. It's an accounting scheme. The banks are in big trouble, but the big key takeaway here and what Porter Stansbury is saying is that if interest rates go even higher, right, that will create even more losses for Bank of America. But Bank of America is just one example of hundreds or thousands of banks out there that are in the same boat. And the biggest quote unquote bank, it's not a bank, but the biggest entity that would be affected by this is the United States government. Because think about this, guys. And he goes on to talk about this, okay? Meanwhile, the U.S. Treasury here, right here where my cursor is, the U.S. Treasury needs to refinance $9 trillion and issue $2.5 trillion in new debt this year. Remember when we go, let's go out here real quick to the debt clock. Hold on here. Okay, the U.S. debt clock up here in the upper left corner, the U.S. national debt is $37 trillion. Now I got to get back to the right tab. Here we go. Okay, so they need to refinance $9 trillion this year of that $37 trillion and issue another $2.5 trillion. Foreign buyers like China are dumping treasuries for gold. That's a fact. If Trump disrupts this debt recycling, we're staring at a failed auction, meaning nobody will want to buy the debt. Nobody will be interested in buying it. Or Fed QE that will spike inflation expectations. When yields hit 7 to 10%, Bank of America's equity won't survive. That's what we started this example with. If rates go up that high, there's going to be such catastrophic losses to Bank of America that it would be catastrophic. A run on the bank, ATMs down, it's not if, but when. Fractional reserve banking fails, it's built to. See 1932. So guys, not only is it Bank of America, but what he's talking about with the U.S. government is if rates continue to go up, and rates are high. Now, one more thing we can talk about, the rate that most people, the kind of bellwether that most people follow is the 10-year bond yield. We'll go out and look at that real quickly here. And there's crypto prices while we're out here. All right. Hey, looks like, hey, Solana, 175. We like that. Bitcoin, 105. Awesome. But we're here to look at interest rates. Okay. And here we go. There's the U.S. 10-year, the upper left corner, basically 4.5%. That is actually very high. Let me show you graphically what that article just talked about. Come here, baby. There we go. Okay, let's look at a 5-year rate. Okay, here we go. This shows it perfectly. This is back in 2020. Interest rates were 1%. I'll draw on here for you. Okay. Right there. That's 2020. Interest rates were 1%. Today, right, we are at 4.5%. So what they're saying is that back then, Bank of America bought $700 billion worth of bonds, and they only paid 1%. So now, because people can get much higher interest rates, the value of those bonds has gone down. Again, guys, it's the inverse relationship between bond prices and interest rates. Right? Think about it this way, and I'll wrap up this whole conversation that you didn't ask for, this class on bond prices. But think about it this way, okay? If I had a $100,000 bond, right, that I'd bought that pays 1%, right, and I wanted to sell it today, and you had $100,000 that you wanted to invest, and I said, hey, look, I got a deal for you. I want to sell a bond that I have, and if it's a U.S. Treasury bond, it pays 1%. And you would look at me and say, why would I buy that bond that only pays 1% for the next 28 years when I can go buy a new bond that pays 4.5%? Instead of making $1,000 a year off my $100,000, I can make $4,500 per year. Does that make sense, right? You wouldn't want to buy that off me. You might buy it if I say, well, I'll sell it to you for 95,000 or I'll sell it to you for 60,000, which is what it would really be worth in that environment. I hope that makes sense. I know it can be a little heady, but the takeaway here is that the banking system, and it's not just Bank of America, a lot of these banks are in a very precarious position. Let's go over to auto. Just crazy to see right now what is going on. Here we go. Do you have an auto loan? I'll ask you that question, right? What's going on with the American consumer with auto loans? A lot of people have big loans on their cars. This is downright very scary. The auto loans, U.S. auto loans, serious delinquencies are rising at an alarming pace. The share of auto loan balances at least 90 days past due hit 5%. That means 1 in 20 cars that are driving around out there that have a loan on them, 1 in 20, they are over 90 days past due on their car payment. In Q1 2025, the most since the 2020 peak. This is also slightly below the 2008 peak of 5.2%. Transitions into delinquency. That means people of 30 plus days, people who just started to stop paying their car payment, reached 8% in Q1 of 2025, the highest in 15 years. Serious delinquencies continue to surge, elevated interest rate pressure on consumers, all while total U.S. auto debt sits near a record $1.64 trillion. Again, why is Robert Kiyosaki calling for $250,000 Bitcoin? Why are we saying that's good for unicorn fart dust, right? Well, because the banking system is under huge stress, right? I've talked about this. I don't want to bore you guys, but for the last 4 years, right? This massive hidden loss. They don't have to recognize it. It'd be like if you bought a stock for $100, right? Put $100,000 into it, and it went down to 60,000, and you went to that same bank and said, I want to use this stock as collateral, but I want you to value it at 100,000. They wouldn't do that. No, they'd say it's only worth 60,000, but it's okay for the banks to hide these massive bank bond losses, on their balance sheet. And on top of that, right, the U.S. government's in the same position. And on top of that, the auto industry, which is a huge part of the U.S. economy, right? More waves of more and more people are moving into being delinquent on their car payments. I think that explains why we have a debt crisis, and it's not just in the United States, it's all over the world. And the only way to deal with a debt crisis is either default or, right, devaluing the debt, devaluing what the debt is measured in. And what's the debt measured in? The debt is measured in this, right? Paper money. Okay, paper money. So what are they going to do? They're not going to call Ghostbusters. No, they're going to call this guy. Oh boy, he's getting dirty. And we love him. He's in a bad spot. Our old friend Jerome Powell from the United States Federal Reserve. And all they can do, guys, right, is this. Print money. Print. And what that'll do, like Robert Kiyosaki says, is make things that are finite in nature. Things like gold, things like silver. Here, there's a 5-ounce silver bar. Okay, isn't that pretty? Right? And I've said this is the original cryptocurrency, but it'll make cryptocurrencies. That's why he's calling for $250,000 Bitcoin. And he's saying it could happen very soon. If Bitcoin goes to $250,000, guys, that will be very good for UFD. You know, right? We got the foundation laid, baby. There is no other meme coin out there. There's no other crypto out there like UFD. We can say crypto because meme coins are cryptocurrency. Okay, there's nothing else like it, right? The utilities that can be built on top of you, there's, who knows what can happen, right? But the core is unbelievable, right? We have the most fanatical, and I mean that as a compliment, hardcore community of any crypto ever, right? I mean, gosh, look, we got, oh, look at all this stuff. Which hand? There we go. We got Billy. Okay. We got the best sponsors. Ron's Basement has the best sponsors. We're sponsored by Ledger, right? The hardware wallet, crypto security, undisputed leader, right? I mean, the company, highly respected. They came and helped me after we got hacked. They're helping the entire crypto sector, but the bottom line is, right, they are one of the most respected companies when it comes to securing crypto, and they're with us. It's a big deal. Thank you, Ledger, for sponsoring us. And then, right, MoonPay. MoonPay. Say it with me, right? MoonPay is a sponsor. I mean, it's like week after week, major news story. The week before last, it was they're now enabling on their platform customers to buy digital gold, like Robert Kiyosaki was just talking about, XAUT, right? The tokenized gold product from Tether. Tether, the company that brought us a USDT stable coin, right? Bringing together the great opportunity to merge the benefits of holding physical gold with digital tokenized gold. Right. And this product, XAUT from Tether, right, is backed 100% by real gold in a Swiss vault, LBMA, good for delivery. But then this week, MoonPay, and Ivan, their CEO, and Keith Grossman, right, they come out with this major news that with MasterCard, they're going to enable stablecoin payments through the MasterCard network. I don't know, it's like tens of millions of merchants that you can go through. How many people have MasterCards? I think over a billion. It's incredible, right? So we're very lucky to have both of these companies, Ledger and MoonPay, as sponsors. Thank you, guys. Okay. And by the way, my gold and silver content is being sponsored now by this company, First Mint. You can see it there. Just like it sounds, First Mint. If you ever want to buy some physical silver, I say still, like, I love crypto. I love physical silver. The original form of cryptocurrency, you can go to firstmint.com and they have a discount code VIPRB, VIP Ron's Basement. Okay, let's move on. We got to do Duster of the Day. We got a beautiful Duster of the Day today. You guys are continuing again. Oh, wait a minute. We'll do Duster of the Day next. This was the big news story of the week, and it feeds right into what we were just talking about. Okay, we talked about how, and I'm sharing the wrong screen, and there we go. Okay, is Susie there? I don't know if Susie, are you there over?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we can't understand you. Please hold the walkie about 6 to 8 inches from your mouth.
I'm here.
Okay.
Hello.
All right. Good morning. You want to say anything to the community?
Just want to say happy Sunday. Thank you for being here, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you. Everybody say hi to Susie. Hey, reach out to your screen if you're on a phone, wherever you are, right? Go ahead. You can hold hands with Susie. I don't care, right? This is for those of you who are new, that's my lovely wife who really runs the show. We communicate via walkie-talkie. And she has a nice little seat here in the Adirondack. We all love Susie. It's upstairs, Susie. What are these dollars doing around here? It's crazy, you know? Here, I'll show you something interesting you may not know. This is $1, right? This is $1, right? No, wrong. This is not $1. If you look closely on this, guys, very interesting. Let's see if I can hold it over here. Here we go. At the top, do you see that? This is a silver certificate. And it used to be that the dollar, it says $1 in silver. I can't read it. $1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. Right? Our money used to be backed by real metal. Right? And it worked. 1933, they took it off temporarily. 1971, they took it off temporarily. You know why? Because the government wanted to print money. They've been printing since 1971, nonstop, okay, which is why we're in this situation that we just talked about with everything else. But it gets even more interesting because on Friday, we got some shocking news, okay, very shocking news came out after the market closed. They never do this. I'm sorry, you guys You guys got to deal with me a little bit more. They never put this bad news out when the stock market's open. If ever a big story comes out on Friday at like 4:00 Eastern time, you can rest assured it's not a good story. It's a bad story. And that's what we got this Friday when they announced, Moody's downgrades United States credit rating, citing growth in government debt. Well, Moody's, we could have told you that about 5 years ago. In green, Moody's was the lone holdout. The S&P and Fitch are the other big rating agencies. They'd already downgraded it, but they were the holdout in keeping U.S. sovereign debt at the highest credit rating possible, and brings the 116-year-old agency into line with its rivals. In red, the decision to lower the United States credit profile would be expected at the margin to lift the yield that investors demand in order to buy U.S. Treasury debt. That's what we talked about earlier, right? So that'll raise interest rates, make the debt cheaper to reflect more risk. This could dampen sentiment toward owning U.S. assets, including stocks. Moody's rating cut of the United States sovereign credit rating one notch from AA1 to AAA. So that was the big news on Friday. Just cementing what we already talked about here, right? Like the world is waking up. You can't just print make-believe money forever and expect that it's going to be worth something, and people aren't going to wake up, right? Even Moody's is waking up, for crying out loud. All right, let's do Duster of the Day. We're going to go out here today and look at our friend Gotcha Ghost. That's Gotcha, Gacha. I spent like 5 minutes scratching my head trying to figure out why I could not find his profile to pull it up here, because I was putting a T in there. Gacha. He's a critical member of our community right there, right? Meme Machine. Please check out my highlights at UFD. He's an artist. Let's go down here, right? Here he is. Gotcha Go says, Rise and Grind, UFD. Check out my Etsy shop, link in bio, if you'd like to support my art. As always, you can find all of my designs in the Meme Depot. Don't forget, right? There's a thing called Meme Depot. Go in there and look up UFD. You will be shocked. Here's one of his pieces of art, right? I think Emma sent this out just the other night. Like, this is our sent it to me. It's cool. Look at that. How do you get in my basement? Take that picture. Okay. They're not like us. You know, I love Kendrick Lamar. I was listening to the song the other night. I try to only now listen to it once a week because I don't want to, wear it out on myself. There's Kendrick Lamar. They're not like us. Let's go up here and click on some stuff and see where we can get lost. Rise and Grind, UFD family. Here's the Etsy shop. Here we go. Check this out. Is that up? That's not up. Here we go. Let me make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, which you are. Okay, so this is an Etsy shop. Look, honesty, integrity, prosperity. Honestly, I've never been to an Etsy shop before. This is really cool. Look at all. Oh, there you go. See, you can buy all this UFD stuff here on his Etsy shop. Wow. That is very cool. Poster, man. Ron. Oh, brother. Okay. So thank you, Gotcha Ghost. You are contributing a lot. You've been recognized several times to me by several community members. Of course, I'm noticing what you're doing. I want to read you guys a little paragraph that Gotcha sent us. Said, hey, Ron, thank you for naming me the Duster of the Day. I hope you're enjoying the art I've created for the UFD community. Seeing you show up every day and work hard has inspired me to do the same. I'll tell you guys, that was a very hard lesson for me to learn. I'll tell you a story about that when I'm done here. Let me read through this. It feels good to be in a community where we encourage each other. That is critical. Guys, we are nice. We love each other. We try to help each other, right? And that's what's growing this unbelievable bond and community that we have. Encourage each other to be the best versions that we can be. Be sure to stay tuned as I have lots of new art cooking at the moment. UFD will forever be a part of my life, and it's something that has been missing for a long time. A sense of community and a bigger purpose has lit something in me I've never felt before. Wow. I'm proud to walk shoulder to shoulder with all the Dusters putting in work as well. I'm excited to see where this journey will take us all. Thank you, Ron, for your strength and dedication to what you believe in. And please say hi to Susie and the family for me. Wow, gotcha. Okay, I'm on the verge of crying, but I'm not going to cry, okay, because you're paying me with your time and you don't want to see me sit here and cry. But thank you, Gotcha, for everything you're doing. Thank you, Susie, for everything you're doing as well. And I guess what got me on that was this idea that every single time you guys send me one of these paragraphs, you always say thank you to Susie as well. And I know, Susie, here she is. We got her turned on this morning. Means a lot to me, and it really touches me to see how much she means to you guys as well. Everybody say hi to Susie in the comments, huh? She's on there. She's lurking. She's watching. So Gotcha Ghost, you are the duster of the day. I want everybody out there, right? Feel up here. You got a horn? Huh? Yeah, let's rub horns. Come on. Rub horns. I fully recognize that's very cheesy, but it feels good, doesn't it? That's what the dusters do. We rub horns, all 600 of us on a Sunday morning. I hope we've all said our prayers. Gotcha Ghost. You are the duster of the day. And as a reward, you get to wear the golden horn. So all you people who are, I almost said horny. That would have been weird. Horned up. Let's all pick up the golden horn. And here it comes. Gotcha Ghost. Help me put it on him. Boom. There you go, Gotcha Ghost. You are the duster of the day. He talked about showing up every day. Guys, I'll tell you what, I don't have a lot of wisdom. I'll give you, I don't give financial advice, but I will give this advice. Stay out of debt. I can always feel 100% confident telling people, spend less money than you make, right? That'll set you up for life, basically. My grandpa, I haven't showed grandpa's clock. Right? Remember grandpa? My grandpa's 95 years. Well, no, my grandpa's dead. He died. I don't know. Maybe it was 90. I forget. Died 8 years ago. Anyway, I used to go hang out with him on a weekly basis. Right. And he would always say that just spend less money than you make and you'll be okay. This is his clock. I forgot to tell you that. It's just a matter of time for UFD. Right. I sometimes put it on here like this, right? It's just a matter. I got to be careful with it because it dropped. And someday this is going to be worth millions. But it's just a matter of time till we fill it up. So that's a part of that. The other advice that I would give, man, I tell you what, there is so much. It's really easy to be successful in life, right? You got to figure out what you want to do, okay? Make a decision. This is a goal that I want to reach. This is where I want to be, right? Right now with UFD, for me, it's I know in my mind that we have unlimited potential. I don't even want to share the numbers that come into my mind when it comes to what our market cap can go to, right? To do that, my part is to show up every day and do live streams. That's what I promised I would do, right? Day by day by day, that I would keep showing up one day at a time, right? I can't, I don't know how many decades. Look, but one day at a time, I keep showing up. I have for the last 5 months, number of days. The advice in this is simple. Figure out something that you want in life and then work at it every single day. And here's the kicker. You're going to hit a point where it becomes very hard, very difficult. And then you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I told myself that I wanted to achieve this. I knew that it would get to a point, it's called the dip or the valley or whatever you want to call it, that it wouldn't be so fun. It's always fun to start things, right? It's always fun, exciting. It's the dip. That defines the winners. When it's not fun temporarily and it takes discipline and you stick with it through it all. And I see that in our community day after day after day. I could name after name, the Dark Duster, Emma. I mean, I can't even go Royal. I mean, all these different people and all of you guys, Art. I mean, there's look, I can't name all of you that show up, but you know who you are every single day. And if you do that, right? And that's a great example is with our Jug, right? The Jug. When I was in college, there was this guy who used to call me Jug Head. He claimed I had a big head. Anyway, this jug, right, gets filled up day by day by day by day, little by little. And I think it's really hard in crypto because everybody wants everything to happen immediately. Oh, boom. well, what do they call it? Look, we're different. Think about this. Think about UFD from this perspective. We are different, okay, on many levels, but we didn't do a rug pull. I never rug pulled, right? I started this with $100 experiment. You know the story. Down here in the basement, I was a gold and silver maxi. I didn't really like crypto. I called it unicorn fart dust. So I called the crypto unicorn fart dust. Now I've realized crypto is unicorn fart dust in a good way. Anyway, kept showing up day by day and built and built and built. And that's what it takes. That's what's critical, right? For anything that any of us want to be successful at. Oh, darn it. There was something big that I wanted to tell you guys. It's going to drive me crazy now. Darn it. There was something big. But anyway, it's the community. Man, I had a big, important thing. Did that ever happen to you? If it hasn't, wait till you get a little bit older. It'll happen. I guess I got to share it tomorrow. But what was I talking about that was so important? I feel like I'm having a senior moment. I'm only 55 years old. It's right on the tip of my brain too. It's going to come. Stay with me. I'm going to remember it. Okay. We're the underdog. Oh, shoot. What was it? I started it with $100. This is driving me crazy. Right? Anyway, I started it with $100. You guys took it over, made it what it is today. That is a huge deal. And there's so many big things. I guess sometimes I get confused because there are so many critical components to what's happening right here. Crypto skeptic faced our challenges. Darn it. Oh, well. Tired. Oh, I know what it is now, right? We don't rug pull. The difference. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We're different. Okay, in many different ways, right? Like we don't rug pull, right? The first night, that's what I was going to say, right? That this happened. I had no idea what was going on. I did sell some beans like in the first 24 hours. Okay, I was very transparent about that. And then at that point, I said, I'm not selling, and I haven't sold 1 cent. I've bought beans, but I haven't sold. It's how different the UFD story really, truly is on many different levels. I mean, the other thing is like we came into this with no promises, right? Yeah, we're different. We don't rug pull, we rug push. But we also came into this with all the other cryptos, the exception of Bitcoin and a handful of other ones, but a lot of them, right? They come out with all these grandiose things they're going to do and blah, blah, blah. And they get everybody in at a high valuation so the founders can rug pull, basically. We're the opposite. We do rug push. We didn't promise anything. Okay. Look, the first night that I created Unicorn Fart Dust, the first night that it took off, I wasn't down here thinking, I'm going to have all these people that are going to be running contests, doing DJ shows, make a promotional car. I didn't think of that, right? That happened, right? I was thinking nothing, like this is nothing, right? Okay. So we're different in a lot of ways, two of which are we do rug pushes and we don't promise anything. The community delivers. I'm not delivering. Look, I'm the spark. You're the fire. That's the reality. Think about it, right? This is by you. This is your opportunity. This is your chance. Are you tired of feeling like the system's rigged against you? Right? A lot of people are, right? Unless you're in the top 1%, and hats off, congratulations. But 99% of us aren't. This is completely fair, level, playing field. The blockchain. Here's one of my favorite little cards. Okay. Right? The community dictates the value. This is our chance. This is like pure democracy. I was watching a guy, Michael Saylor. Now, look, I got to tell you, 2 years ago, go look at my old videos. I used to sit down here. I never made fun of him at all, but I would say the guy creeps me out. Maybe if I met him, I'd feel different, whatever. This was 2 years ago. I was listening to him last night talk about how he was talking about Bitcoin, but I believe it also relates to other pure forms of crypto like UFD, my personal opinion, right? That we are like this clean opportunity in money. He was used a great analogy about how, 500 years ago, people only lived to be like 32, 33 years old because the food was dirty, because the water was dirty. And they didn't realize that they were eating dirty food and water. And when that got fixed, right now, life expectancy is much, much longer, thankfully, right? I'd be like ancient history in ancient England or whatever. He says the same thing about crypto. Crypto fixes the dirty money, right? Let's face it. The system, the fiat system that's out there, it doesn't take a big study to realize is not the fairest system out there. Crypto created, and Bitcoin, right, created this fair level playing field, democratized playing field. We have that with UFD. Maybe you're joining us right now from Montana, maybe Missouri, right? Maybe Miami, but you also could be in Madagascar or Central America. I can't think of any more countries that start with M, or South America or Asia, right? Maybe you're joining us from HTX. Oh yeah, HTX. We got list anyway. This is our opportunity. This is a unique time in history. Think about it. It's Web 3. Okay? It's Web 3. Think about what's happening. This is mind-blowing to think the opportunity that we have in front of us, right? Look, right? I'm able to sit in my basement with a bunch of light bulbs and a $15 webcam and talk to you guys, right? And we're also all able to participate. A guy in Missouri has got the same exact opportunity that a guy in Madagascar has when it comes to UFD. Okay. And I don't know for sure you can buy UFD in Madagascar, but you can buy it most everywhere in the world. Okay. The people in Africa that are with us right now. Right? This is a unique opportunity, right? It really does give the average people of the world an unbelievable shot at a fair and level playing field like most of us have never had. Okay. Because unfortunately, the way the banking system is set up, I mean, think about this. This is a real easy way to think about it. Let's say you're from Venezuela and you're in the United States working your tail off as a landscaper. Okay. And you really do good work. You got a really good fair boss and he gives you $1,000 a week and you're shipping it home to your mom and dad because you're supporting your family in Venezuela, right? Traditionally, you would have to use one of the traditional banking system or whatever. Western Union used to be. I don't know if they're still around. You're going to pay like 5 to 10% commission. Instead of sending them $1,000, you're only going to be able to send them $930 or $925. Think about what crypto does, right? With crypto, it might cost like a nickel to send that money to your parents in Venezuela. It really levels the playing field. But more importantly, when we're talking about storing value, think about this. This thing right here, this is critical. This thing right here, okay, it doesn't matter. It goes down in value every year. When I was a little boy in 1970, this would buy 4 candy bars. Now, it won't even buy 1 candy bar at the dollar store, right? Or gas. Think about it. This is designed to lose value. Under the best of circumstances, they're shooting for 2% inflation. Why does it have to go down in value? Period. Nobody can ever answer that question, right? But these, okay, it goes down in value because they print them. They print them at will. They can just print, and bail out their buddies on Wall Street like they did in the 2008 financial crisis. I won't go down that road, okay? These, 999 million. 999 million. 999 million. Third time's a charm. You can't make more of those. Bitcoin, same thing, right? They're reaching that point where there will be no more Bitcoin made. It's called scarcity, but it's digital. It's unicorn fart dust. It can't be worth anything, right? It's not real. It's make believe. Well, your relationship with your spouse or your children or your best friend is kind of not physical. You value that, correct? Let me ask you a question, right? If you got a letter in the mail, right? A paper letter in the mail saying that you inherited $10 million, you'd be really happy, right? That would have some value to you. If you got an email from a law firm and it was legit, not a scam, telling you inherited $10 million from a relative or whatever, you'd be just as happy. But it's digital. It's only digital. Guys, it's and I was one of those. I was, right? I'd sit down here, you know what I would do? I'm being honest. I'd sit down here and make gold and silver videos, and I'd say, somebody show me a Bitcoin, and I'd reach out in the air. Oh, there's one. Oh, I got another one. I got another one. Right? I got another one. Right? No, I was wrong, and I changed my tune, and I did over the last year before I started UFD. I started to open up to crypto, and you guys with UFD put me through a crash course, and I'm like, I started in kindergarten, and maybe now I'm like about in third grade. But that I've proven, and it takes you can't, it takes time, right? I will show up. I will continue to learn. I know you guys will too. Hey, look, it's a big honor when you join me down here in the basement. Who let you in my basement? Huh? Is DJ Litimus down here again? You're down here. You. Yeah, no, look around. You. Okay? You're important. You're an important part of this community. We got a great opportunity in front of us. Okay? An opportunity that you guys created. Okay? I spawned it. You created the opportunity. You created the community. You created the situation that could never be replicated. Is that well communicated? All right. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Okay. I want you to have a wonderful day. VIP, be good to yourself. Please. Right. Start with you. Build a good foundation. And from there, right, you'll be able to be nice to other people. Let's go UFD. Thanks, guys. Okay. I will plan on seeing you, yes, you, tomorrow. And we will have the winners of the Operation Beanbase. Take it easy. Bye-bye.